are premiering our show with Tony and me and Brad at the helm. We've done a bit of a reboot to commemorate this epic season 4 of The Floor. And as a season 2 vet, I am saying that this is going to be and is proving to be a pretty exciting season. So we welcome you. Thanks for joining. Hope you enjoy our recap tonight. We've got a lot to get through, but I want to first say thank you, Brad and Tony, for joining me, launching this new platform together, and a special thanks to our guest tonight, Harley Banker, the youngest floor contestant in history, even a little younger than Andrew from season 2. She's here joining us to talk about her experience, and we are going to take it from the top in a minute. I just wanted to say hi to everybody. Welcome tonight. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Good to see you, Tony. Good to see you.
Hi. It's good to
What's
be
up?
back.
Brad is back. All right, guys. So several of us have watched the show either last night in real time or we caught up today or just before this pod. And a lot of history. You know, usually a lot of the promos are a lot of much ado about nothing and a lot of extra pomp and circumstance. And sometimes the episode doesn't live up to the hype. But I would say this week proves the exception. I think history was made in multiple ways. And we're going to have a lot to talk about, especially with Aaron and his epic run as we get further in the episode. But I think we could just kick off. Harley, you come up pretty early in last night's episode. So if we can kind of push through episode 1, we can come a little bit closer to where you are. But before we get there, tell us a little bit more about your experience. Anything you want to share off the top about how you auditioned for The Floor? Were you recruited from Instagram? Were you a fan before your season? Fill us in a little bit.
So I was a fan before. I watched the show with my family since season 1. Like, I just really loved it. And then the second I turned 18, which was in October, I saw the ad come on the screen. It was Rob Lowe saying, "Apply now." And I was like, okay. Like, I didn't think anything of it. I was just like, I legally can, so why not? Like, and then a few days later, I got a text from a casting producer, and the process just went from there. And I was like, cool.
That's pretty awesome. I misspoke and said you were earlier in the episode. I meant you were later in the episode.
Yeah.
So we wanted to get to know you first before we delayed to, like, what were you, dual 6 or 7, I think.
Oh, I know. I was confused. You're like, she came up early. I'm like,
I was like, yeah.
No.
Wow,
I meant we want to
were
get
you
to
watching it
early.
reverse?
No, I meant I want to get to you early. I don't want to make you just sit there and
it's
just
totally
listen.
fine.
So were you the only one who applied, or did your mom or dad or anybody else from your family decide?
I didn't tell them I applied until a few steps into the process.
It's pretty exciting.
It was. They were very, very surprised. Eventually, once I realized that, like, this is actually possible, I obviously mentioned it to them because I'm only 18. I was not going to fly to Ireland alone. I wasn't going to go to a whole new country and all of that, like, by myself.
So did production let you bring somebody then?
So she wasn't allowed to stay in the hotel we were assigned. So we kind of cheated the system and just bought a room across the street. So every morning I would just walk back.
Been there,
okay,
done
that's
that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
brought family as well, and I was like, all right, guys, we just don't know each other. I'm not going to see you. Whenever
Exactly.
the show's done filming, we will reunite. But I wanted just to know there was somebody in the country that had my back
Exactly.
if some
Exactly.
random stuff went down, you know.
Have
So was
you
this your
done,
first
like-
trip?
To Ireland it was. Yeah, it was
Fabulous.
it was cool. It was also really cool because in Ireland the legal drinking age is 18. So I was like, this is a whole new world for me. I walked in there, I was like, I'm free. I have the freedom of a grown adult.
Yeah.
I could do whatever I want.
You can smoke cigarettes.
I could smoke cigarettes. I could
Oh my gosh.
Drink a Guinness.
and drinking Guinness. We did do a Guinness tour. That was really cool.
Oh, that's fun.
Can I say something, Harley? Friend of the show from season 3, Mike, who I love, Arcade Mike. He says he sent me a message today, and he said we need to lead with "We've got Harley." So he wanted me to say that. That's Mike saying that for you, Harley. Mike, season 3. He wanted me to say that. So there.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, he's excited that you're coming on, and we are too. You're the youngest contestant we've ever had on our show.
Thank you so much. There was another 18-year-old on our season. I'm a few days younger than her, so taking I'm taking the title of youngest contestant very lightly, but
And who
but
was that?
still.
Oh
Victoria, TED Talks.
yes, she was.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until a few days until like day 2 of filming, I think.
Which
I
did
said
she audition in high school too?
She's in college, but
She didn't look 18.
she does
I
not
was-
look
I was-
18. I had no idea until like
Yeah, no.
during a 10-minute break. I was sitting down because my feet hurt, and she walked up to me and she was like, "You okay, baby?" And I was like, "Yeah." She goes, "How old are you?" "I'm 18." "Oh, me too."
That's so cute.
Yeah, looks can be deceiving, Harley. I'm only 19, so I'm really like I'm in your demographic right now. So
He
there's
has,
that.
he has a glandular condition. He doesn't like to talk
Yeah,
about.
I
Yeah,
age
yeah.
really. I age a lot. I'm a big ager.
He's like Benjamin Button. You're like going backwards.
Yeah, I'm going backwards. I'm gonna look like you, Harley, in about 3 years.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to say we're going to get to your duel and we'll get a chance to talk more about you. But please, at any point, of course, feel free to weigh in on how you think the duels went, the ones you saw, because we know that when you lost your duel and left studio, you didn't know what happened probably until last night, like with the rest of America. So
Yep.
you can absolutely weigh in on the first half of the episode, though, because you were
Sure,
there
sure.
in real time watching
Yeah.
it all go down, right?
Yes.
So our first duel that Ashley, first of all, Ashley goes for Harry Potter. And I think we got to spend some time on this because last week we pontificated on what would Ashley do, right? It was like WWAD. Like what's going on? Is she going to take a category that we thought was extra challenging and scary to keep people away? What was her plan? And I think we both, remind me, I don't know if Tony and I both said she should pick something academic, maybe, right? Like geometry or paleontology, or did you have a different point, Tony, last week?
I think I don't like the way that I didn't like that she picked Harry Potter. Just for and it actually ended up being against her favor. I think she should have picked a category that was like intimidating and studied up on it. Harry Potter is something that like everybody knows. Like, well, I mean, not everybody knows. It's like niche, but it's mainstream, but it's also niche. It's just like if you know Hermione and Harry and Ron, but it's like if they go deep into it, you got to really know it. And I think she should have gone with something more niche, I think, because if she did, I don't think that Aaron would have done that category switch.
Yeah, it makes you wonder because he puts off on the episode like he doesn't know Harry Potter well at all.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't have mattered last night because he would have ended up switching it up for coffee regardless. But it means he inherits Harry Potter.
Okay, wait, no, I misspoke.
But he inherits Harry Potter,
that's
which
true.
is
He
easier
does.
to study than maybe something more esoteric and intimidating. In other words, if he's got to cram something, Harry Potter might be easier to cram. So
That's true.
had she picked something more intimidating, he might have thought a little differently.
Yeah.
You never know. What do you think, Brad? Do you think Harry Potter was a good choice?
No, I mean, well, no, it's too mainstream. I would get crushed in Harry Potter. I don't know Harry Potter enough, but it's too mainstream. He should have went with something. What are some categories, Tony, that are really tough? She
I
should have
think, like,
chose that.
Biology. And
Yeah, that would have made him
Even
scared.
geometry for somebody who's just not
Geometry.
math, doesn't have good math skills. They'd be afraid of geometry, paleontology.
And just studied, like just
Can I-
studied.
Can I say one gripe I have? Because I want to say this is the best show I've ever seen on the floor. Hands down, Harley. Best show. This is the best episode I ever watched.
Thank you.
But my gripe is I don't always catch the coming next week on the floor, right? But last week, oh my gosh, he's going for 7. And so I knew,
Yeah.
I knew you weren't winning, Harley, because it was
Yeah.
7. They
There's a
gave
big
it away.
thriller.
They
that made me
spoiled it.
really
And
upset because I
I'm
kept
so
trying
mad.
to I kept trying to promote watch what happens, but you know
You
what
already
happens.
know. I didn't even-
Yeah, if you watch the preview, so I didn't watch the preview for next week. I purposely turned it off. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to spoil it. But Angie knows I don't like spoilers. So I was ticked about that because I'm like, man, I know Harley's not winning this. This
Yeah.
homie, who I am rooting for because he's from North Carolina, that's where I'm from. I like him. I want him to do good. But I knew you were going to lose. And I'm like, this guy's
Yeah.
going to win 7. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
by the time Aaron showed up and won, you're like, well, if somebody's going to make history and win 7, is going to be the person who, or goes for 7, it's going to be the person who wins Duel 3. And at that point, whoever won, you just knew it was going to go that way.
Yep.
So it did take a lot of that out. Harley, what were
You would think Fox would do better at that, by the way, Angie.
I agree. I agree. What would you have picked, Harley, if you were Ashley? And it's always 2020, so we're not judging Ashley's choice. In fact, she may just be the biggest Harry Potter nerd on
Yeah.
the earth.
Yeah,
Knew she was
true.
going to go back as the whale. Knew that people were going to come at her, and she's like, I got to pick the topic I know I can defend. So I think she probably did what was best for her. But what would you have picked if you could have swapped at that moment?
Well, if I had the decision between doing the category steal and time boost, at that moment I would have done time boost just because I'm so comfortable. I thought I was comfortable with high school. Um, but if I did have to do the category steal, I would pick movie musicals. I am
Oh,
I'm a
girl,
theater kid, so
you get it. No,
I-
I would definitely do
Tony,
musical
didn't we
movies.
say that's too mainstream last week? We said
but-
that, right?
Okay, but for funsies, for the
For
fun of it.
Funsies.
like I
For
think I
fun
could
of
defend
it.
them. I think I could defend that very well.
Yeah.
Okay.
We just spoke right before the pod. Harley's at can I tell them where you're at school? Are you okay?
Yeah,
with
sure,
that?
of course.
Harley's at Elon in North Carolina. There you go.
I
Brad.
saw that because I was like, is Harley in North Carolina right now? Are you in North Carolina right now?
Right now I'm not. We're on fall break. I flew into New Jersey last night, so
You like North Carolina? It's beautiful, right?
it's so gorgeous.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Elon's a great campus. One of my very, very good friends, their son is kind of like my son, and he and my daughter, who's 18, have grown up together early, and he's going to Elon. And I mentioned it to Harley. I go, oh, I know there's like a lot of students on college. I don't expect you to know everybody, but I said he's a musical theater major. She's like, oh my gosh, I think I know him. So the smaller Floor family world just became even a little tighter, which is really
Yeah.
cute. But okay, so movie musicals, you would have taken that. That would have
I
been.
think I would have. I don't think I would have gone for the more intimidation route just because I only have 18 years of knowledge compared to a lot of other people on the floor. Not saying anything, but I'm not sure I would have felt too comfortable
Well,
carrying
that makes sense because
other
I think
categories.
that's really smart. I mean, on one hand, you could be a prodigy, you could be a genius on anything, and you could have
Yeah.
fronted that. But I think the fact that you were seemingly authentically who you are, your ability to play off being an expert in anything at 18 would have required you to
Yeah.
be a different person. I
Exactly.
think to intimidate people.
I don't think I've ever asked y'all three this question, but I thought about it today. You're on the floor for hours, right, Tony? Like you're just sitting down there for
Too
hours.
many. Too many.
Okay, what do you do when you gotta go to the bathroom? Like what's because I pee a lot.
You raise
So
your
what's the-
hand.
You raise your hand. And
Do they
stop.
time you? Are you
No,
timed?
they just stop. They just take
No.
a production
Yeah,
break.
or like
They
Well,
listen
see,
to
I
you when
need
you
to
raised
go-
your hand.
Yeah,
I
but
do
nobody ever.
Harley, what
raised
did
their
you
hand
do?
that I
What
know
did you
of.
do,
I
Harley?
actually did have to raise my hand at one point. We had like a prolonged break, and I just didn't go to the bathroom. But then right before we went to film again, I needed to go to the bathroom, so I raised my hand, and I just had to miss like a duel or two. But
Yeah, they
That was
just
it.
cut it out if you're not on stage.
Yeah.
and
Really?
Movie
For
magic.
us?
You didn't
I
know. Wait,
no
you
one
didn't
was
know
gonna
that,
challenge
Harley.
me at that point. So
Well,
I
they
feel
told
like
us
they
to
would-
raise our hand, but they told us to raise our hand for like any kind of medical emergency, and even that, I watched people raise their hands and they didn't stop. They didn't. It was strange. It got to the point where I like tried to like come here to one of the producers because like somebody needed help, but when it came to the bathroom, you just had to do it during the 10-minute breaks.
Yeah.
What? That okay? I'm a beer. What if you got like a number two, man? You got to go in there. That's gonna take time. I would be so stressed about
Yeah.
that, Angie. I don't think I can handle the floor. That's why I just want to be on the
think there's so
podcast.
much to worry about that was something that probably wasn't on my radar. I also,
yeah, literally.
you eat a
Chandler's
lot
gut.
of potatoes, Brad. I mean, you have
Oh my
three
God.
times every meal is at least 3 potatoes, like mashed potatoes, chips, and then
Cheese.
don't
You
forget
get some
crisps,
cheese in there.
crisps in
Yeah.
your bag. So that's gonna stop you up quite a bit. I'm not gonna
Yeah, I
lie.
guess
I
you're
don't think I had a
stocked up. Thanks,
vegetable
Angie.
for like a week.
Yeah,
does that help?
veggies are good. Yeah,
Yeah,
veggies are good.
Just saying,
Thanks,
I'm
Angie.
just trying to let everybody else know. I think they were very intentional. Okay,
I've
so
never asked that question before, Harley. You were first. So I asked that question.
yeah, that was great.
Which was-
Thanks. Yeah,
So where are we at? What duel are we
Oh
on?
no,
Angie?
we're moving into. Let's just go right past. Honestly, I felt kind of bad that their new mechanic of the golden square was kind of
Yeah.
overshadowed by the category switch, and
Yeah.
There was just so much going on this episode.
yeah,
Like,
I was like,
Yeah, there
oh,
was
they
some
really
time.
they tried
You're
to
like,
pick
what?
that out.
I can't get over how like the golden square was like the least interesting
Yeah,
part of the
exactly.
episode,
Yeah.
but that part was even interesting itself.
Exactly. It
Like,
got buried.
what?
It got buried in the beginning, didn't it?
Yeah.
So Harley, help me understand one quick thing. I know that
Mhm.
we know that we're briefed on all the rules by production
Yes.
staff. the Golden Square, were you told that it rotates every episode? That it stays in the same spot until somebody discovers it? Does it reoccur, or is it a one and done? Tell us a little more about that if you remember.
So once we found out we were on the show, we got the option to put our names in like a pool, I guess, of to be selected for the Golden Square. I did not, because I didn't understand. I thought it meant that like you were gonna get assigned a random category. I didn't read it right, I guess. I wish I did now, but
So you can choose if you want to be in the running for a Golden Square.
yes.
Wow.
What
And
would
it's,
be, what would
it
be
is
the
one and
ben-
done.
Why would say that again, hon? It's one
It-
and done. So there
it's one
won't
and
be
done.
another one.
There will
Oh,
not
there
be
won't
another.
be another one. Okay.
Oh, see, I thought
There
they
will
I
be a-
thought there
there
was
will be another one?
opportunity.
There will not be.
No.
That doesn't make a lot of sense to me from a game's point of view, because I believe the Golden Square was supposed to be an enticement to keep people dueling in the hunt, right?
should
Like,
have been,
I'll
yeah.
keep going. I might get a Golden Square in the process, just a little carrot to dangle. So
Yeah.
to not have that every episode seems
Yeah.
kind of like a wasted, like,
Yeah.
treat, I guess. I
They
don't
should
know.
do it every episode. And
should.
second, the floor, I'm going to say, the floor has recognized the negative stuff that may have happened in previous seasons to keep people going. And they have answered, Tony, they've done a great job of keeping the casual viewer. I've been known to say on here, it's back to the floor all the time.
Yeah.
Hey, man, they are doing their best to keep people up there challenging,
Yep.
and I
Yep.
appreciate
For
that.
sure.
Yep. So the Golden Square, you had to opt in, which is kind of interesting, and it was
Yeah.
a one and done, also interesting. I have a feeling that might just change, though. I just don't understand why. I guess you did say you misread a little bit of
Yeah.
the instructions, which is, believe me, there's a lot coming at you in those hours after deplaning and getting ready to go to the studio.
I just didn't understand it. I thought they meant like that I was gonna like switch categories or something. Like this was before we were assigned our categories. So
Okay, so
I
that's
was
very
like-
interesting.
Oh.
yeah, I was like,
Okay.
I feel like I know. Well, I obviously didn't know what I was gonna get, but we got like a huge list of potential categories, and the second I saw high school there, I was like, it's gonna be mine.
But
So
Yeah.
Mike from season 3 just asked in the live chat. Sorry, I might have missed it, but does everyone else know who doesn't sign up for the Golden Square?
No, none of
Okay.
us knew.
Okay.
But this is interesting too, because if you sign up to be a Golden Square, you can't win. Can you? I guess you can if you win. If
can,
somebody gets
yeah.
you and you win. Yeah, never mind. He just didn't win last night. That's what happened. Okay, I see what you're saying now. That's interesting. Yeah, you're right. Another viewer says if it wasn't officially published, you could have people bluffing that they did or didn't opt in for the Golden Square.
That's true.
As a way to maybe trap
Oh.
people.
That's
into
true. I didn't think
beating
of
That's
that.
friend of the show, Tim, from season
Yeah,
2.
Tim, you wily man. That is a great
Tim's our
point.
boy.
That's a great point. You could totally manipulate that.
Yeah.
That's food for thought for the next season. Anybody thinking of auditioning, that's smart. Okay,
That
so we
is.
get Tom.
Wait, can I ask something real quick?
Yeah.
Harley, they interviewed two people sitting together.
Yes.
I'd never
Sergio
seen that
and
before.
Jonathan.
I'd never seen that before. Have y'all
Me
ever seen
neither.
that?
No.
It was weird. Are they like brothers? Like, what's their deal?
Sergio and Jonathan. Jonathan's my fellow New Jersey representative, so I hope he does well. I have no idea. But Sergio and Jonathan, I think they're just next to each other. They
Oh,
must
okay.
be like
I kind of
really
like
close.
that though. That's
I
it was
liked
cool.
it too. I liked
was
it
cool.
too.
Yeah, I think
I
some
thought
of
they
us
were
in-
like maybe friends before or something, or
right, like they had a rapport going on. Yeah, not only
Right.
where when you're on the floor, you can be close to each other without leaving your square, but the fact
Yeah.
that they interviewed them
Together.
off camera as
Mhm.
as a duet was really an interesting thing.
Yeah.
It makes me
That's
wonder
cool,
what
'cause-
happens to them later if they're getting some kind of
know.
buddy cut, and then there might be some kind of betrayal coming.
That's
don't
what
know if
I
they're
was
trying to
thinking. I
play
was
that
like,
off.
I feel like something like that might happen. I have no idea, but
Like, I would like to see that, like a cut with
Yeah.
like Angie and Tony on the season. They're talking, and Tony's like, "I really like Harley," and Angie's like, "I do too, but I want to beat her." You know, that would be kind of fun. You know, like, and you see the friends chatting, or the
These are Brad's
floor
floor
mates.
fantasies, and I don't know,
Yeah.
they're a little disturbing, but you know, whatever works for you, my brother. Okay,
maybe for
let
us.
me- we haven't even gotten to duel one, so I'm gonna just speed us up till we get to
Yeah, speed
Aaron
us up,
and we get to
Angie.
Harley. So Tom, 71 seemed like a really nice dude. We didn't get to know him. He ends up getting picked by Jason, who's randomized, because of course we know Ashley picks Harry Potter. She goes back to the floor, thinks she's probably safe for a while until somebody near her gets picked.
Which is a smart move, Angie. Smart move to go back to the floor.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a smart move.
So randomizer.
That's surprising you would say that.
I know. Tony, tell me around.
I always said it's a smart move once you get the bonus
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
to go back.
Right.
You've gotten the
Tony,
gold.
you did
Now
that,
go.
didn't you?
Hmm?
Didn't you do that on your season?
Yes, they did.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
I kept the boost for 10 episodes.
Wow.
It was
Wow.
weird. That probably won't happen again. We'll see what happens as seasons go on. But yeah, it did. It worked out for me that way for a while. But Jason has summer camp. I think that would be a pretty good category. That's going to be another speed round. But he picks impressions, and we get the floors very. It's an audio duel, not a video. That does come later, but it's Pharaoh. It's the guy who hosts Quiz with Balls. He's a
Jay Pharoah.
comedian. He's a young guy. He is super talented. I'm not going to take anything away from him. I do think there are people who do some better impressions of different celebrities.
For
because I
sure.
kind of really struggled. I actually
I
really
did
struggled.
better than I thought, but I think that the older gentleman got the harder ones because there
Yeah.
were some that I'm like, oh, that's not what I heard. There,
But then
no.
what threw me off? He went Shaq. When Shaq
Well, he knew Shaq. Yeah, he was like,
Yeah.
Shaq.
No,
But I mean, come on. You got all right.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know that's Matthew McConaughey, like what
yeah,
are
he
you
said
doing,
Michael
brother?
McConaughey.
Like, have you watched the Lincoln commercial? But I would say I like Jay Pharoah, but they got to get a guy that does really good impressions
Yeah,
because
he's
I felt like
good,
Jay
but
Pharoah
he's
was
not
weak
great.
on some of them.
Yeah,
Right?
I would agree with you 100%.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, I think it was cross-pollinating for Fox. I think, good on them to insert another little promo moment. But honestly, you've got to, I really do think you needed to, at a minimum, why have the same impressionist each time? Why not pick the
Yeah.
person who's done the best celebrity impression over a series of comedians? There's so many. I mean, SNL is filled with fantastic people who do impressions. I just thought
Frank
they could've-
Caliendo does great impressions. Just get them on there and have them do a
Well,
few
yeah,
and
or
just
they
change it
could've
up.
done, like different people doing those impressions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
Like,
I thought
not
that was
just
kind of
his
tough.
own.
It was tough to hear. It was
was
it's
tough.
hard. Audio for people who don't play the game, there's there's different forms of knowledge, and audio learning or visual learning or kinesthetic learning, they're all very real, and sometimes it's very difficult to hear something and quickly identify in the way you can with a slide. So I think the fact that people were taking longer makes perfect sense. You're using different neural processes, whatever, but I still found it to be super challenging, and I was just like, oh, thank goodness that wasn't me.
Harley, it brings me to this question though, and I brought this up to Angie and probably Tony. Like, I'm not the best hearer. I'm older. This guy was 71, right? Like, what happens if you're deaf? Like, if you get an audio one, it's tough. Like, he's got to like process this faster than the young guy.
Yeah.
It's a disadvantage. It's 100% disadvantage.
But I think there's always gonna be like individual disadvantages here and there.
Yeah.
But with that, it's just like, no, I don't even know.
Yep. I don't
It's
know
like,
either.
and like, especially like older contestants versus younger contestants, like reflexes are gonna change as you get older.
Absolutely. Recall,
So-
reflex, memory,
Exactly.
stamina,
So,
endurance.
yeah.
Right? I mean, I stood on that floor for all of the episodes, and my legs were swelling, my knees
Oh.
were swelling, my hip was hurting. I never felt older standing still in my whole life. And to hear that Harley was hurting too, I feel slightly better. I'm like, okay, then
I was hurting too. I was hurting too, but I was wearing heels and
I was wearing heels. Yeah.
see now, but
which we're not
God,
supposed to do. But
Yeah,
I was like,
good on you.
cute though.
good on you.
They
But
look
you gotta
good
look
enough.
cute. You're on national television. You gotta look cute.
Right. I'm not
Exactly.
trying to wear
That
Air
looks
Forces.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go. Well, so Jason wins 10K. He hits that goal.
I like Mike.
Uh,
We can't all be Tony level.
No, Mike is one to talk. Mike is one to talk. He
Mike's a legend, man.
no, literally. No,
Oh, we
he
can't
can't
all be
fast on
Tony
that
Speed.
floor.
Yeah, for people who didn't see that later, arcade friends popped in and said we can't all have Tony Speed. I mean, Tony Speed
And
and
that's Mike from season 3, who
Yeah.
if you would watch, he
he's
got the
fast
speed.
too, man.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that's why we like him. He's like a gamer's gamer. He's all about the lightning speed.
We love Mike on this show.
So Jason wins. He gets his 10K. He goes back to the floor, as we've just established is not a bad idea. And we get Megan. So Megan's the wife of
Yes.
the Christine, I believe, and they're both
Christina,
opera
yeah.
singers, which I was super surprised they didn't play off of that and have one of them do some kind of little.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Which, Holly, we talked about her last week. It's not
Yeah.
fair to have your spouse on there. I'm not a fan of that.
I'm all
I
against-
disagree. I disagree. I don't think this is the show where that's like a huge advantage.
That's where Tony and I will also. Have
Yeah,
to
I
agree to
disagree. I think there's like a
Well-
little. You can promise not to go for that person, or you could plan out, but things happen. Things change so quickly. There's no
But
way
it's-
that they could be
it's
that
not-
big of an advantage.
It's not
I don't like
about
it, Tony,
being-
but people disagree with me on here, but I don't like it.
It's not
Actually,
about being, you know.
I don't like it.
I want to get Harley's opinion on this, and we did belabor the point last week, so we don't have to go through it again. But
Yeah,
I
let's not go
wanna
through it
say
again.
That it's not just strategic in a gameplay; it's an emotional crutch that a lot of people don't have the benefit of having
That's
in
true.
an unfamiliar situation. And I don't think we can underscore the benefit that brings in that kind of a format. That was my point last week. Go ahead, Harley. Do you have a comment on either side of that, or are you going to be Switzerland here?
Well, I think that on the gameplay level, it's the same thing as having an alliance,
Mhm.
basically. So I'm not sure it makes a difference, but you're right about the emotional point of that. Like having a spouse on the floor with you definitely is some sort of like comfort.
I would think that for me,
Yeah.
and I think for
I-
people for whom that's important, it would
Mm-hmm.
be a benefit. Some people are islands, man. They just don't need other people, and it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Other
I
people
can
are.
see it.
Okay,
more
do you have a
loyal.
brother? Harley, do you have a brother or a sister? Are you
I have
an
a
only
brother.
child?
I have a brother.
So if you had your brother on the floor,
It would be a
you
lot
would
easier.
like that.
Yeah.
You would like that.
100%.
Because you and him could go to off in the hotel room and run
Study
study
together.
together.
Yeah.
You could.
So
I feel like it's an advantage.
Yeah.
So I will say, as somebody who has a sibling who also auditioned for the same season as me, we wanted to be on the same season. But honestly, I think that if my sibling was on the show as well, I think it would be a disadvantage to me because I'd be thinking about not only my gameplay, I'd be thinking
Oh, that's
about
true.
hers as well. And
I
I'd be
can see
stressed
that,
out.
and-
And
yeah.
if my her wife just left, right? And now if that was me, I'd be like, oh my gosh, I don't have that support anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm freaking out. I would consider that a disadvantage, if anything.
Yeah.
I
Or
get
you-
that,
or you
Tony.
could
Yes, I
double
agree with
down.
you on that.
You could double down
Okay.
for revenge, and it could be a motivator. I
But
don't know. But
it
Mike, our
it
friend,
goes back to my.
Oh, I was just saying, Mike entered the live chat, and he said that it could absolutely be an exploit with respect to gaining that third boost. You need a third square. If you're near somebody, maybe they're gonna throw the match, so you get that, and you have an advantage, especially as the floor condenses and gets smaller. That kind of alliance and collusion, I think, is a real thing. And yes, it could also happen with complete strangers who share a Guinness on night one and decide they want a team. Like Tony, you and me, we would have jived. I would have been like, "I got your back, girl." You'd be like, "I got your back, girl."
Yeah.
But you don't have to be
Wait.
blood for that. But it is
Tony,
an issue. I think it's something to consider.
Tony, would you have been a friend of mine if I was on the floor? Would you have been like, I like this Brad guy. I'm going to partner with him?
It depends on your gameplay. And also, I will say, based off of how I played the game on the floor, I don't think I would make any alliances of like, I will never go for you, because that's what I did day
Oh, no, I'd
one,
never
and
say
it,
that.
and it backfired on me. I told Lily in Fantasy Films that I was like, I'm not gonna go for you, don't worry, because that was my genuine. I wasn't lying. I wasn't gonna go for her. And then I saw the floor shift a little bit more, and then I saw how easy it would get to get that time boost if I just went through Fantasy Films. And that's when things like that happen. So it,
Yeah,
You
I'm
don't
with
wanna
you,
make
Tony.
promises
I
that
didn't
you
wanna
can't
go
I
keep.
would encourage you to go after me, though. I would say, you know what? I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to win.
then I wouldn't
And
be,
we
then I
can-
wouldn't be in your alliance because I like to be around winners.
Oh,
But I'm a winner. What are you talking about? But I
If
would
you're,
say,
saying, if
Harley.
you're saying I'll take one for the team, then I'm like, no.
No. I'm
People who want to
saying,
win.
no, you misunderstood me, Tony. I'm saying,
Oh.
don't be my friend. Take me, call me, and bring me up. Don't promise you won't challenge me.
I thought you said, "Oh, I'll
Yes.
take one for the team for you."
No. I would never do that.
Then yeah, for sure.
I'm saying,
For
Tony,
sure.
don't promise me you'll never take me. And if you challenge me, I'm okay with that because this is a game we both want to win.
Yeah.
if
Beat
anybody's
me,
seen
beat
the
me.
show, they know that Brad is there to win. Brad is there to
Yeah,
win.
I'm there to win. Like,
Brad
I want to win. I
only
would
gets
beat
mad
Heidi.
when people don't play to win. That is Brad's.
Yes,
MO, so he's
but
not
but
gonna
but
throw
Harley,
it.
my fantasy is bring the spouses and the brothers and sisters on a special floor season. Have them all connected. That would be fun. That would be
could
amazing.
That's like the 50 states kind of thing. If everybody had a pair.
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
I think there should be team floor. I've got all these new ideas. Producers, call me
Ejector
if you get
seats,
stuck. I got
trap
plans.
doors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
trap
we got
doors,
them all.
arcade claws. We got it all
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah,
Okay,
we got
so
it all, Harley.
we're gonna speed through this. Although this duel, I think, got a lot of chatter online since yesterday. This was the telling time duel, and Megan, who had coffee
my
at this point,
gosh.
which we will see, ended up being a much more threatening category than anyone could have ever possibly imagined. Coffee ended up being like a strategic move later, but at this point, she goes after telling time. And I think everybody had two ideas about this category. I won't say everybody, I did. I had two ideas. One, it's going to be different timing telling apparatuses, different what anything related to the
like
concept of time, telling time.
clock,
Clock, a
hourglass.
watch, pocket watch, a sundial, any of these number of things. And I thought it could really just be telling time, especially since we're raising generations. Hardly you are excluded from this because I'm sure you know how to tell time on a watch face, but a lot of folks don't. They're looking for digital clocks only. So, this digital analog split is maybe something they would play off of. And they did. They showed real time. They showed digital time, military time, and Roman numeral time, and regular numeral time. And to me, this was a speed round. And that's really what it came down to, right? Was it
That's
hard?
what really got me. I didn't realize how long it takes me to tell time until this. Like, I was like, it was actually quite embarrassing.
How ironic.
I'm glad I watched this alone.
So ironic that it took so much time to tell time, right?
No,
It was-
literally,
Tony.
I'm glad I watched this alone because it was actually so embarrassing because I was focusing on speed and then I was just getting all of them wrong. And then, like, the ones I did get right, it took me, I was literally pausing, being like, I got this. I can read this.
Can I tell Tony? Can I say something? My wife hates the floor. She does not like the floor.
Really?
So my son and I watch the floor every Wednesday after it's recorded. I know, boo my wife. And she's watching this and she's like, how do these guys not know how to tell time? And I said, honey, people like Harley have not grown up with clocks. They pull their phone out and it's all digital. Like, I grew up, we had to learn, we had to mark the time
That's what
on
we
a
did.
We
clock
had to do
face.
that too.
I did too as well.
Oh, well, it's weird that they're making you do that, Harley, because you can just pull your phone out. So I feel like I'm giving them, I'm cutting you some slack, Harley, because I feel like they're not teaching clocks as much as they used to. Because we don't need to look at a clock. We can look at our phone.
Well,
Yeah.
something
Yeah,
I wanted to ask
mean-
early. I just want to ask her quickly because she was in studio. I'm curious about the visual because there were some old timey clocks with Roman numerals,
Yeah.
very crowded faces.
And you had to get it down to the minute.
Yeah,
the
Like
minute.
11:06.
right. How hard was it in studio to differentiate? Because there were moments that I was looking, maybe like
Yeah.
taking a little extra beat because I'm like, is that on the is that 59, 58? Like, what are we dealing with? What did you
I
see
mean,
in studio?
I'm square number 5, so I was way in the back. So I was looking up at that screen, and I did the same thing. I was like,
Yeah, it seemed like it was hard.
How were
to
you
see.
like rewatching it? Did you think you like did well?
I honestly didn't do as well as I thought I would. I didn't totally bomb it, but it was kind of embarrassing. I'm with Tony on this one.
Yeah, no, it was actually embarrassing about how bad I did. I think y'all might be right about the younger crowd. I'm a loop.
Mike in the chat, how would you have done, Mike? How did you play this? I'm curious how Mike did, because Mike's a smart dude. I want to see how he
I
played.
mean, I
the
did
clock.
learn in second grade, and like I did have a watch, and I still do have a watch, and I can tell the time. It's just not like I look at it and be like, boom.
Yeah,
Like
it's not
that.
boom. You can't
It's
tell
not a
it.
speed thing. It's
Like,
not.
Yeah,
in
it's
a
not a speed
second,
thing, but it's
right?
never
I was
bothered me.
I was so good at telling time, Harley. I had a goofy watch in like elementary school, and it was backwards. Like it was a backwards clock.
Right, and you could.
And
tell,
I
know-
could
I
tell
know the one
time.
you're talking about. I
Yeah,
know
you
the
remember
one.
that, Angie? Me and you,
do.
we're in our 40s and 50s, so we got
we had
that.
swatches, if you remember.
Yeah,
We
I had a
swatches that
swatch. I had a
no
swatch.
numbers, no numbers on the face, just shapes
Nothing.
and colors, and we could tell time with just
Yes.
the little tiny sticks. We knew exactly what was going on. I'm telling you, man, on the zombie
Mike's
apocalypse
funny.
team, you want people like me and Brad on your team.
Old enough to handle.
Mike said, "I'm old enough to handle all the times." That's
All
a
the
boss
time.
move.
Oh, all right. Well, I think it's funny that the time duel really did come down to speed.
It did.
What we ended up having was that Carla was just a little too slow. So
Yeah.
he lost that. And Megan's like, I'm going to stay up here. I've seen some people run it. I'm feeling pretty confident. I've shaken out my jitters. And there she had to go and poke the bear. She's
So
like,
I'll tell you
"There's
something
Aaron."
about this.
I want to
'Cause-
know what you heard on the floor. You were so close to
Right.
them, Harley.
Yes. So me, Bo, Aaron, and Megan, like we were all very close to each other. I was next to Bo, so I talked game with him a lot, and I also talked to Megan a lot. And we were discussing like we made a small alliance, and we decided we're gonna get Aaron out because we knew he was a game player, and I knew that like going in it because with the whole category swap and everything, he kept telling me he was like, "Oh, I know what she's gonna do," and I was like, "What's she gonna do?" He's like, "Oh, I know. What is it?" like, he just kept like egging it on. I was like, "Okay," so he's like, he's gonna play. Whatever happens, he's gonna go, like, go off and
So
everything.
you felt that as soon as he was kind of like tapped, there was no stopping him. He was
There was
gonna
no
do the
stopping him.
run-in.
So,
So-
I knew, and Bo knew, and Megan knew, and everybody around us, Emily, Jasmine, we were all like, "Okay, we band together, we can get him out." Christy, we were all like, if one of us gets picked, go with him. The earlier we get him out, the better. Which is how I knew that Megan was going to do that.
Smart. Okay, that makes sense. So if it had been, who else was adjacent to him at that time? You and Bo were just one off, right? You weren't close
Yeah.
to him.
Well, Bo was right behind him, and I was right next to Bo. So
Okay.
he was diagonal to me.
Okay, so if Bo got hit, he was going to go after Aaron, and if Megan got hit, she was going to go after Aaron. Like anybody around him would have taken him on, you think?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, and that's what happened. And honestly, I think public transportation is another one of those general knowledge categories. I
It
can't
was.
imagine he was very intimidating with a category like that, which is probably why he maybe played up a lot of that chatter, right? Just kind of
He-
getting people's
yeah.
heads.
He was he definitely did a lot of game talk. Him and Bo, they bickered a lot, which was very, very entertaining to watch. I was right there, so I loved every second of it. I told them each what they wanted to hear. I told Aaron that I was with him, and I would take Bo out, and I told Bo I was with him, and I would take Aaron out. And in reality, I would take Aaron out because, I mean, he is a game player, and I want to get rid of those big threats early. But, yeah, I was there, and I watched them. Like, I knew whatever was going to happen, they were going to go against each other at some point.
Yeah, and they did, and then you
And
got
they
to
did.
watch that, and then you
And
were
then-
next in another duel or two. So
No. Okay,
Go ahead,
Mike
Tony.
just said, interesting to learn that Bo would have been just as much of a liar. Which,
Oh.
yes, no, when I
True.
heard him be like, you're a liar, I was
Yeah.
like, oh, the tea is hot.
Wait, who are we
But
talking
not
about? I'm
knowing that-
confused. Who are we talking about?
Okay, Bo, what was his category?
guy.
Yeah, the guy that was
Was
like
he the
super
guy that
animated.
Red
cried last
carpet.
week and we saw the tears in his eyes on the.
He
Wait,
was the
wait,
one-
He's the guy who had red carpet. He's the guy who had red carpet and was screaming.
Pass.
wait, Paul. He's this guy right here. Hold on. I'm getting better. I have drops now. He's this guy.
Yep.
Yep, that's
Yes.
Lenny Kravitz.
So,
that
so the
yes.
reason why Mike said that is because the reason why Mike said that is because when they were up on like the stage together, Bo was just like, "You're a liar." You're literally calling Aaron a liar. Like, "You're a liar. You're a liar." Basically, just saying like, "You didn't say that you were gonna go against me."
He was
And
supposed
everyone
to
was
go
just
for
like,
buffet, right? Isn't that what he said? You were going to
Man,
go for
all's
buffet.
fair in love and war,
You're
man.
fake.
Just go.
and I
But
was
now
like,
Tony says he's like Mike said he's a double liar because he's like he
"Yeah,
would have
but
gone
you
for
were
Aaron. Is that
actually
what
gonna,
you're
you
saying?
were actually trying to take him down too." So
Right.
I honestly, I didn't know he was going to do that because Bo was in his own little world over there. It was amazing. It was very, very entertaining. He told me he was going to try to take out Aaron. Would he have actually done that? I don't
Yeah.
know. I think that the easier one would have been high school or coffee. But
Agreed.
Bo was highly entertaining, Harley.
he was
Bo
very,
was very entertaining. He was funny.
was,
But
he
I
was.
also, even my wife was like, "This guy's amazing," and she doesn't like the floor. But I'll say, I feel like he wasted a spot because he passed on so many. I feel like he didn't even know his own category. Like,
It's hard
how do
to
you
I
not
will
know?
say, like low key, they kind of gave him some crazy.
yeah.
I don't know. I got to be
I'm
honest.
usually good at a celebrity category, but like that was a little bit too.
Wait,
Yeah.
you don't know Charlize Theron? I was like, "Oh, that's
Never
Charlize
heard
Theron.
that.
I know her."
I've never
How would
heard
you
of
not
that.
know these people? I mean,
I know
first of
I
all,
knew Steven Spielberg because of theater,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, exactly.
No, not theater, because of movies and stuff.
Yeah.
But I was thinking of Steven
I gotta say that was we'll get there in a minute, right? Because it's the next one. We just say public transport is what it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
She spent too much time on water taxi. Aaron,
How did she
was
not know
good
water
at it.
taxi, Angie?
I didn't
How did
either.
she
I
not
was
I
on
didn't
the
know that. I was
I
gonna say
was
ferry,
on the
party boat. I was
Well, there was
on
already
that.
ferry.
Water taxi, water taxi.
Ferries are for cars and water taxis are for people, and it's fine if she missed it, but she took too long to pass on it, which gave Aaron a window to win. And then we get Bo, and I want to just say this was the first video category ever, and I thought it was great because one of my biggest personal issues with images is that sometimes they're ambiguous, and that can absolutely be the case with pictures of celebrities, especially if those pictures are somewhat dated or they're in a weird unflattering angle.
Yeah, they're
And
zoomed out or
video put them in is three-dimensional. I felt they were so much more recognizable in a video clip than a static image, so I really liked that. Now we could argue whether or not they were relevant, but we're talking about red carpet, and I think that spans ages. They probably could have had a few more millennial celebrities, but they did. They had Timothée Chalamet, they had Zendaya, they had younger people, and they had older people, and it just so happened that Bo didn't know, and that really is unfortunate. But I like Brad. I got a little bit of a sense that he may or may not have been either recruited or applied for more exposure than for actually wanting to play. And
Yes, I'm with you.
That bothers me for people who really do want to come on and compete.
But I did find him really entertaining though.
Oh.
And I feel like
He was very entertaining, and
Yeah.
Tim says definitely the most memorable one and doners.
Definitely.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
It was.
definitely. We've had a lot of those, and I guess people who game, and I'm speaking for myself. I tend to get in that competitive mode where I get a little you're not even trying, bro.
I know.
And it feels a little like people have just kind of given up, and I'm like, oh, don't give up, keep fighting. But he has his own reasons for being there. He was a breath of fresh air. He provided fantastic promo clips for the weeks. So hey, hats off to him. But he loses to Aaron. So now we've got Aaron's got Megan down. Aaron's got Bo down. And then it's like, okay, what's next? Aaron clearly is like, dude, I'm going for the trifecta. It would be silly not to. And I think Harley's right when he said he knew what Ashley would do with Harry Potter. He's probably got this longer plan brewing. And he goes,
If Aaron had went back to the floor, I'd be crushing him right now.
No, that would be stupid.
That would be stupid. I think that's 100% stupid.
well, because
I don't care if he
inherited
gets upset with me. That's
And coffee's a pretty easy category, I think. No offense to the person who lost, but all categories considered,
would've lost that
coffee's one
category.
that's not that terribly tough. And he knew probably if he went back, he'd be targeted because it's not an intimidating category for most people. Now,
Comparatively from other categories,
But
it's
Angie,
yeah.
can I say this, Angie?
Yes, you can.
I love the fact that he's aggressive because Tony, I scream aggressive all the time.
yeah.
But I would not want to hold that many spots on the floor because that early because people are going to naturally be attached to you and they're going to come after you. So you're going to have to duel more.
And that's why people go back to the floor because you're less of a
Yeah.
target.
Yep.
Yeah, I love the aggressiveness, but I also like the guy that sits in the corner and he's like, I've got 3 spots. I'm good. Nobody's coming after me. And then I'm going to be a Keelan and I'm going to win this thing.
Yep. It's I'm going to say from experience, it's terrifying when you're on the floor and you know that the next time the randomizer hits, you're up because every single person is adjacent to you at that point. And you're like,
Brian.
there's no breathing. You can't go back and take a breath. So I think, yeah, absolutely. I don't know, he's painting himself in that corner, but he's also trying to dodge being tagged with coffee. And I think he sees an opportunity for some money. And maybe he's like we noticed, Tony, you and I said this last week, it's fun to duel. If you like being in a game and you're having fun and you're in that stride and you're no longer really nervous and you're like, it's my podium, like I'm in a rhythm, let's go. Maybe you shouldn't give that up. Maybe you're at your most competitive in that moment.
Okay, so Angie, Tony, Harley, you don't know this probably. I rank Brian as probably the greatest floor player
Oh,
of
he was
all
incredible.
time. But I want to say Aaron's probably up there. Aaron's probably number 2 or an asterisk 1B in my mind.
Honestly, I would say depending on how the season plays out, honestly, you could lose right after. I could say that he was the best. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna lie.
If Brian, I think Brian only looms larger because he won money consecutively over
Yeah.
and over again.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
in terms of sheer competitive spirit and gameplay, Aaron, I think, is taking him over right now.
Because
That's
he
my
was,
vibe.
I mean, I think with Brian, he was on the defense and won mostly every time, and
Aaron's
Aaron was
on
on the offense.
Yeah.
And that's what really
That's a
just
good
what I
point.
love
That's a good point,
about
Tony.
Yep.
gameplay.
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
just
Maybe you're right. Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
and I don't
Aaron's the
think that
greatest.
with Brian, he just so happened to win. I think he's an incredible player, but it says a lot about you as a player. If you can be on the offense 6 duels in a row and win, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
crazy to me.
That is
And then-
bonkers.
Then he goes for his next. Like, we're halfway through his streak now, so we're gonna get through a few more duels. He goes for Christy. Christy, shout out to you from South Dakota, because I was born in South
Close to
Dakota.
where I live,
Up
yes.
there. You betcha. I was rooting for you.
Wait, you betcha it's Minnesota, Angie. That's Minnesota. That's where I live.
It goes across
Oh,
the whole
you
region.
betcha.
Oh,
Want to
anyway.
play with the flag? We're gonna fly the flag up here in Minnesota.
I'll come visit. We'll throw down some lutefisk or something together. Okay. Anyway, Christy runs a buffet. She says. Do you know if that's true, Harley? Did you catch up on that? She mentioned it that she runs a restaurant. Does she, or was that just a flex in the
I
moment?
don't know. I didn't catch that.
Okay. I'm just curious if
Oh,
you heard
wait,
some
hold
chatter.
Sorry, just to say this, Mike just said something actually really interesting. He said, I would argue that defense is harder and put Brian up there because he doesn't get to choose the categories he's defending, but on the offense he gets to choose his route. That's
That's
actually
true.
pretty true.
That's true.
Well,
It's
I will.
true.
Yeah, that is true because every single time the categories change and he just has to just. No,
Deal with
I agree. I guess there's like advantages and disadvantages to both offense
Definitely.
and defense.
Definitely.
But yeah.
Definitely. I think there were the images. This again was a speed duel. I found a lot of speed duels, and we've discussed that you've got niche knowledge duels, and then you've got super speed duels. And obviously, this is food. Name the food. It's just another name of the food. And most anything was not ambiguous. If you've ever been to a buffet for breakfast, those were scrambled eggs. I saw some people on the internet today going, they didn't look like scrambled eggs. I'm like,
They did look like eggs. I was going eggs.
Eggs.
I
And
did.
if you've ever been to a
I
hotel
think if
free
she
breakfast,
messed up once,
that's
then
eggs.
that's fine. But her fully passing, I was like, girl, just
Yeah.
2 more seconds, you would have gotten that.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And
Wait,
that was
Tony, you
little-
know my belief. You pass immediately if you don't know. Like
Yeah.
you pass immediately.
Yeah.
You don't.
I'm,
you don't try to
I'm,
think.
like iffy about that. I used to be like that, but I'm like a little bit iffy.
you
like-
got to give it maybe a second to
A
register.
second,
I don't know.
because sometimes your brain can just remember.
But
like,
from the fat guy who lives in Minnesota, I'm like, that's eggs. I know eggs. I can eat eggs.
I
That's
will
good.
say, I'm going to point this out because of my season and others. I've had to be, I'm very paying close attention to judging and everything now. And he did say macaroon. And that was not
yeah.
a macaroon. It is a macaron. And they are very different cookies. And that was the moment where I
oh,
went,
that's true. A macaroon is
Mm.
yeah.
I was like, and then I was like, nope, just breathe, let it go. It is what it is. But I
You
think
know
if
the
anybody
floor
wanted
is
to
on
pick,
answering
it would
questions,
pick.
Angie. You know that.
What? What?
You know how the floor rolls on answering questions.
I do. I
Yeah.
felt that was a moment. There was just one
That
moment.
was one
I
of
like,
those
we're
moments,
doing
yeah.
so good with judging the whole show, and then that one moment, I was like, did you hear that too, Harley, or did other
I
people hear
did.
that?
It brought me back to like the bed of nails and nail bed from episode 2, and
Yeah,
I was
there's some
like,
different ones.
it's the same thing, but it's not. And it's like, oh,
Oh yeah,
Well-
that one I thought was like not fair, but then I
That
I
one-
heard
yeah.
other people say it's not the same thing. So
Yeah, but
Like,
it was tricky. So
yeah.
aside from that, it went well. He picks up the time boost. Interesting. Huh. He didn't go for swap a category right away. Or steal a category. He went for time boost. And I'm like, good for you, man. Go OG with the time boost. Let's see what you do with it. I thought
You know my
maybe he
thoughts
would
on the
do
time boost. You know my thoughts
Yeah.
on the time boost.
Brad thinks it's a waste, and we respect.
Which-
But I thought maybe he was going to go back with that. I thought
Yeah.
maybe he'd be like, okay, maybe the time boost will give me a little leverage so I can breathe and figure out my next plan. But he didn't. He's like, no, you know what? I've been hanging next to Victoria, and she looks kind of young, and she hasn't been studying. Odds of her knowing TED Talk, which are really going to be more old people, pretty slim. I'm hitting her. And I was like, yeah, that makes sense. You know, it tracks. And he wasn't wrong. I mean, that
He
was
was not
another
wrong.
one that was hard to watch. It was pretty
That
good.
But that's
hurt so
another
bad.
celebrity photo thing that they do,
Yeah,
right?
but it's old celebrities who aren't
Yeah, and people
on
I knew
TV
Marco was
anymore,
the-
ever.
But
I mean, nobody sees Al
Yeah.
Gore and Madeleine Albright anymore unless, you're looking for them. And she
Here's
just
the thing.
pass.
Here's the thing about this one. She's 18, I'm 18. I knew none of those people. So I was like, if I went up there, I would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Except the difference is that's not my expertise category.
Honestly,
So I was
hardly
like,
anybody under 30 would have done that.
yeah.
Unless they are just addicted to TED Talks, because there were a lot of people that were more recognizable if
Yeah.
you're around my age. So it's
That's
not,
my biggest beef, Harley. If you have a category, you should know your category.
Yeah, I feel like that should
Like-
have been something you studied.
you wonder if
Bo,
that
like
fits
Bo
into
should
it.
have known his category better than he knew it. Like
I agree.
it's hard for me to cut him
Victoria-
some slack.
What if she was an alternate though? We don't know. I don't know. Harley, do you know? Was
That's-
she an alternate? Was she
no,
an Barrett
actually-
category?
Victoria was not an alternate. We only had one alternate stepped in.
Okay, but I wonder because sometimes people
Wait.
get assigned categories. Like Ty, he was
Yeah.
assigned Brat Pack. He didn't pick that. So-
What Victoria told us, which was interesting, she had a few stories when she went up on the went up on the stage. They cut this out, but she was like, "My grandfather was a famous TED Talk speaker, so that's why my category is TED Talk." But then on the bus ride home, she explained how she does have an accent. I feel really bad about this. She explained how she wanted TikTok.
Oh.
Yeah, she's an influencer, so I was like,
Oh,
Which
did you
I
guys
don't
hear
think-
our
They
podcast?
straight up
Just-
told me. They straight up told me no, we're not doing TikTok. Like they looked. I suggested anything to do with TikTok. They looked at me as if I spat them in the face. Like they were like, no, we don't.
I
This
don't
is a
know,
family, we don't
'cause-
do that.
she
I
also
think-
told
I
us
don't
that
know
that
TikTok,
wasn't.
so I'm good.
She said that same story wasn't like it was being used as a tactic, but then on the bus ride home, she was like, "No, it wasn't." And I was like,
I've never heard our podcast go so quiet before. It's like, can we have a moment of silence for Victoria?
I don't even
I
know why
felt
we're
so
quiet.
good
I don't
in
even
the
understand
TikTok.
it, but I'm quiet.
The TikTok TED Talk. Oh, Victoria, if you're listening ever, girl, I'm sorry. Okay, we're moving on.
But okay,
after-
but that goes back to my Angie. That goes back. Did Aaron have to answer anything on this pod on this challenge? So
I
it
think
goes
he
back to
did
my.
He did. Let me double check my
he
notes.
did one, I think.
I don't think he should lose his time boost for this because he didn't really play. I've argued that for two
Actually,
seasons
he was the
now. Harley.
challenger. He had to go first. So yeah.
Okay,
answered
so he
Al
went
Gore,
fir- he
and then
went
was
first.
passing down the
He
line.
went
He should
twice
not be
because it
charged
went-
his time boost.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what Harley? He identified Al Gore, but did he have anybody else?
Yeah, he had one, and then it went to Victoria. She said Bill Gates went back to him,
Right.
and
Bill
then went
Gates
back to
was
Victoria.
recognizable, and then it was passing down the line.
Okay, so he used it, so I get it. But the ones who like, what's the guy that from your season, Angie, we had on our show,
Mac.
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 He didn't use it at all.
No,
I
he
feel
didn't.
like it should not be charged if you don't use it, right, Angie?
Burned it.
Tony, do you agree with me on that?
I
think
it's a
yes,
strategic
and
move.
like, but it's like you used it though.
You used
Like,
it.
decided to use it.
Yeah,
and
but you didn't have to actually answer anything.
Right.
That's the
Yeah, but
I
problem.
didn't know that.
But you
Yeah.
used it, and we can't. I don't think we can undervalue the intimidation factor of saying, "I've got 50 seconds, you've got 45."
Yeah.
Who's not to say that that throws something off in the opponent to make them freeze and panic and pass on everything?
And
So
I
in a
think
way, it
that's
could be a
just the risk of
psychological
using the time
advantage.
boost.
It's
even if
definitely
you
a
don't-
psychological advantage.
It's a risk of using it because you don't have to use the time boost.
Yeah.
Which I think anybody who decides not to use a time boost is dumb. But
Yeah.
Thank you. I would agree with that.
Tim says I had a personal rule: take 2 quick guesses and then pass. I like that.
I think that's
And
smart. Boom, boom, throw
Mike
it out.
says that's a good rule, Tim.
Yeah, that's good. That's a really good rule. Fun fact: I've met 4 of those TED Talk people. Remind me to tell you about my lunch with Monica Lewinsky sometime.
You
Moving
got
on.
lunch with Monica Lewinsky? Angie, we should do a whole pod on
During-
this.
when she was an intern at the White House. Oh yeah, I got.
Wait,
stories
when
to
she
tell.
did the deed with Bill? Oh,
No way.
By the way, we're going to be
Oh, that's who
subscriber.
that is.
Yeah, subscriber content only. We'll do this post show, and then we'll charge a subscription rate so people can.
Oh my
scroll down
gosh.
through it. Yes, Harley, that's who that was. I can tell you guys when we stop filming.
Does Harley even know Monica Lewinsky? She's
Well,
so
I do
young.
now. I know the story of it.
Yeah,
You know
right.
it.
I just watched a TikTok about the story of it, so it's like fresh on my mind.
TikTok,
Wow.
not TED Talk. TikTok, TED
No,
Talk.
TikTok.
Tony, you're under 30, right?
Yeah, I'm 24.
Okay,
Oh,
I
you're
figured.
good.
You're so.
Oh
cute.
my
You're
gosh,
so
I could.
cute.
Oh my, I'm
Let's squeeze the little
46. Wow.
tweaks. All right, let's get to Harley's
feel
duel,
like-
guys. It's duel 7.
So
Harley,
I'm-
you're on.
yeah,
Wait, before we get to Harley's duel, can I play something really fast?
Oh, you
Oh,
got
let's
you
go.
got a Dropbox thing. Play with it.
Yeah, I got a job. Can I play this?
Oh yeah.
Guy is one duel away
Oh,
from
man.
being our all-time consecutive duel leader
Oh, he
on the
doesn't
floor.
scare me. It doesn't scare me.
I love you, Harley.
Let's see.
Okay, Harley. I'm getting drops. I'm getting better, Angie. I'm putting drops on you.
I am loving it. You are upping your game, and I am here for it. I want to say, Harley was the first person to join me in the pod before we went live, and she was so cute and talking to me about how I reminded her of her guidance counselor, and I thought that was adorable. But I told her, I said, girl, at 18, I would not have had that poise. I would not have had the confidence. She extended her hand to Aaron, like, shake
Yeah.
my hand on this podium, boy. Let's do it. When you stumbled, you didn't fumble. You were like, okay,
Such
I
a
guess
boss.
it's not a lab table. I guess it's not a drafting room. It didn't look like wood shop from my perspective either. So I was on board.
Oh, it did look like wood shop from my perspective. I was like,
Fair.
wood shop, wood shop.
Fair. But I couldn't tell what they were doing. I could tell it was
Yeah.
people around a table. And
That's
you know,
what I
it was
saw.
hard. But you just kept going, and then people are giving you grief for going, yeah, well, we've got that. But if anybody's ever seen, and I'm dating myself, although I do believe that Michael Strahan has brought it back. I think that's Michael Strahan's show, The Pyramid.
Oh, yeah.
Or Password and those things. People like, it's like, you do blah, 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 blah. It's almost like a charade where you get in a rhythm
Yeah.
of talking your way to the answer. And I think for you, it's the same as when somebody goes, or they do any number of things that get them in a rhythm. I think you were just getting comfortable, and it did eat the clock, but I also think it was just you getting in a
Yeah.
zone. So
And you know
I-
what's
I
funny
liked
about
it.
it? I don't remember saying that. Like being on the stage, it was all a blur. The second I walked off, it was like, what just happened? The only thing I remember was passing on wood shop. I don't remember anything else. And I was like during the duel, I mean. And I was like,
Yeah.
whoa.
Yeah.
The whole corsages thing, I watched that back and I was like, I didn't know that happened.
yeah. Isn't that
You
crazy?
did
You're
great,
out of your
Harley.
body, aren't you? You kind of go, you like leave your body for
Yeah.
45 seconds, and then you come
Yeah.
back and it all hits you when you leave the stage. But I thought you were so poised and lovely, and I just wanted to make sure you got some credit because
Oh, thank you.
think
I
for
really
being young,
appreciate that.
being abroad, drinking for the first time, wink, wink,
Yeah.
legally. You had a lot going on, and I was proud of you without sounding too maternal. I thought you did great.
Oh, I love that. Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
loved
Anything-
it so much. I was already rooting for you before the
Yeah.
show, and I was
Yeah.
like, just
Oh.
so you know, I was like, oh my gosh, Harley! And you
Thank
did
you
a
so
really
much.
good job.
Oh, I
did.
really appreciate that. Thank you.
So let me just ask you for funsies. We know Aaron came at you because he was on a run, and we know Megan was trying to take him out. Did you have a strategy other than taking Aaron out? I just
Yes.
want to know, like, had you gotten randomized, or what was your thought in the path you wanted to create before your time on the show ended?
So, in all honesty, as much as I wanted Aaron out, I was going to leave that to the other people because I wanted to go the other way. My plan was to hit Junk in the Trunk right next to me, Ben. Just, at least I think, I obviously didn't see it, but I think it's just things in a car trunk. And I was like, okay, I think I could do that. I was not going to touch crime fighting duos. It's just way too broad of a category. It could be anything. That could be like, I wasn't going to touch that. And then red carpet was Bo. And it's that angel devil where you have like an emotional connection that you just can't seem to. And also, I like the path better on the other side anyways. So
That's fair.
I wanted to hit Junk in the Trunk and then go from him to energy drinks, which was Jasmine, and that one was gonna hurt so bad because she was like a second mother to me. Well, Caitlin was really a second mother to me, but we'll get to that because she's later on. But Jasmine and I, whoa, that one was hard to say goodbye to, like me leaving, because she genuinely took such good care of me. But I did want to go for that, and it was gonna hurt so bad, but I wanted to.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to go to Disney Animation, which also would have hurt really bad.
Well, I'm sorry we didn't get to see you live that out. It would have been fun to watch you. I think that had you won that, I think it would have given you just some extra level of confidence that I think you would have been a threat, because I think at that point you'd be like, I can do this. I can hang here. I'm going for it. And it would have been fun to see you keep it up.
Yeah.
You mentioned
Angie, I want to say though, I want to say Harley is a boss, man. Like I wish I had at 18 her courage and confidence to do this. Like when I was 18 back in 1997, this was not an option. So Harley, no matter how you did, if you lose on your first challenge, I'm so proud of you. Like
Thank
you did
you.
something
Yeah.
that I would never have the confidence to do. When I was in high school, I sat by myself. I had I didn't talk to people. I was basically a loser.
Oh.
And
gosh.
you know,
Brad.
I didn't have a lot of friends, but I'm so proud of what you did. And I'm
Yeah.
sure your parents are proud of you. Like, you know, there's no way I could come on here and crush you. You did great, Harley.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, it's amazing. Like I wish I had your confidence at 18. I really do.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, once you've done something that intimidating and large scale, even if it was brief, it does something, I think, to you. I'm
Yeah.
a little sad I didn't discover that till I was in my 50s. I'm a little envious that you get that feeling of like I can do anything. I can do
was
anything, and that's
such a
awesome.
such a good experience. I'm going to tell you a funny story in a second because I realized that something that happened was cut, but it's talked about all over our floor group chat. It's one of the funniest moments. I'm really sad they didn't show it, but it kind of makes sense why they didn't. But I would like to say though, being on the show so young, it gave me hope because I was still in high school, and high school people they can be mean, they can be whatever. But then I was surrounded by all these grown-ups, and everybody was taking care of everybody, and there was not a single person that I don't like on the floor. Even Aaron, like he's still such a great guy. Like even though he took me out, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So
What was
definitely it gave me a good confident boost, like for life.
Absolutely, and then going to college campus, you're like, yeah, whatever, Elon, bring it, because I've been
Yeah.
on the floor, right? What happened in the clip that they didn't show? Do you want to share that, or can you?
Yeah. So it was my mom's birthday that day, actually,
Oh.
that same day,
Oh.
and she is a huge Rob Lowe fan, and so I decided when I got up there, I shared with Rob. I said, "It's my mom's birthday, and she really wanted me to let you know that although she is happily married, you are her hall pass." And
Oh
For
my
high school,
gosh.
how did they not use that? That was
That's what
a
I'm
brilliant
saying.
line.
That's
but then he
crazy.
responded with, "I guess I'm getting the birthday present," and I yeah.
Oh, and that's why he
Oh
did
my
it.
Yeah,
gosh.
I was about to say, I was
Rob
like,
Lowe is your new daddy, Harley.
That's really too bad that it was such a great setup you provided, and
Wait,
that they were
Harley.
like, no.
How old is your mom? How old is your mom?
She would get mad if I shared that. She's
Under 50. Is she under 50?
no.
Okay, that's fine. So she's not my age. That makes me feel a little better.
She's 50.
Good. Okay.
She's probably between 50 and 60, I suppose.
She
Probably
is,
50,
yeah.
50,
She's 55. Like yeah.
yeah. It's the Brat Pack swoony demographic, right? Where we all
Yeah.
remember Rob Lowe from his first films and stuff. But
Mike
that
says
was-
Harley's
set
going
up
big
really
places
well.
and wouldn't be surprised to hear. Yeah,
Aw,
Mike's bragging on
thank
you.
you.
yes, and the fact that this is just the beginning for you, and just like the fact that you've done this at such a young age, it's just like I think that's really cool.
I do,
Thank you so much.
I do too. I think to finish out and get us through the duel and Aaron's run, I do want to say, I didn't know if Tony noticed this, maybe Arcade Mike or Tim, if you're still listening. I know that they edit for content and they edit for time, but it seemed pretty clear that Aaron got a lot of time to choose
Oh.
his next move. I don't
Yes.
remember having nearly that time. It was like
No.
seconds. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
And I had to say
no.
what I was going to do. And he seemed to sit there and be like,
There was a whole moment where he was like making up his mind.
They
Yeah,
wanted
and I'm
him to
like,
be
that
the
was
seventh.
generous.
They wanted him to go
Next to his
seven.
head, I was
Yeah.
like, whoa, that was
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
generous.
They wanted that. They
and the
wanted that.
benefit. I didn't
Yeah.
I don't know, I wasn't a fan. I would have loved to have had more time as the game went on too, because
What-
your strategies change and you have a moment
Yeah.
to just think, what if, then this, then this, then this. But
Do-
I had probably less than 30 seconds to a minute sometimes to figure out the next move. So I thought he got a lot of time, and he went with Caitlyn.
Mhm.
And Rob gave him grief for going after a pregnant woman. But I'm telling you, if my legs hurt and I wasn't pregnant, I can only imagine she was just like, oh, Lord, take me now. Like, get me off this floor. She had to be in pain.
She was like my guardian angel there. Her and Jasmine and Elizabeth from episode 1, they all were like mothers. I cannot thank them enough. They were like incredible.
I'm so glad that they were there for you. I think that's really an
It
important.
was so sweet. Like I
Important
felt
thing.
safe there, and I was like, I have like a mom to go to if I need somebody, you know?
Yeah. I think every you have show moms, you have floor
Yeah.
moms. I mean, I'd like to think I filled that role for a few people, just
I'm
a
sure
safe
you did.
place, and I think that's for them too. It's a distraction. It's nice
Yeah.
to take care of other people and not kind of get in your own head. So I'm glad
Yeah.
that they were there to make it easier on you. And then of course Caitlin's got to go, and we're just like, oh
Mm-hmm.
man. So I thought the sandworm was really hard. If anybody's
Mhm.
wants to really recap that duel, I thought it made
That was
sense. We're
tough. I'm
looking
with you.
for
That was a tough one.
creatures, not names. So I understood why they didn't take Shrek. They wanted ogre,
And Chewbacca
It's
and
a
Wookiee,
creature.
yeah.
But the sandworm, I was like, what is that? It looked like a black
No.
hole. I was
That's
like,
right, yeah.
no.
I said black hole, Angie. I said black
Yeah.
hole.
Okay, good.
But-
Then I'm not the only one.
No, you're not the only. But let's get to the last duel because that's the.
Yep.
Are we up to the last duel?
We
That's
are
the most
after that. That's why I'm speeding up. We've got Aaron at this point.
diabolical move.
He's
I
won-
love the move, Angie.
He's got 3, and he got category
You
steal.
gotta respect it. You hate it, but you gotta respect it.
It's
You
good.
got to you hate the player but love the game, man.
Yeah.
Like he
It was a
was
great
like
move.
she wasted it on Harry Potter so he could take it and then beat her at coffee. I mean, that's a power move. I say power move all the time in my house, and my
I
wife's
just
like, "That's
think-
not a power move, Brad."
But that
And
is
it was.
a move.
It was a
No,
power
him
move.
just,
Thank you,
like,
Harley. It was a power move.
saying his plan out loud. I guess not to the audience, but to, like in his confessional. I thought that was like that in that moment. I was like, oh yeah, he's one of my favorite players out of all the
100%.
season.
All time, Tony. She was crapping herself, right, Tony?
Yeah,
She was
literally.
crapping herself.
'Cause I
Like
mean,
she was
and
definitely.
Also, he was about to correct me if I'm wrong. He was about to challenge Ashley. They were kind of equal in squares. They're not equal, but they
Yeah.
had like close to around the same. So if he would have gone for a single square, would he have still gone to 20K
No.
or?
He would not.
Oh,
have.
okay. Okay,
The only chance he had was really to go for Ashley. They were close, but she still had enough more.
Power move.
Oh, okay.
I think she had
Okay.
1 more than
Not
he
one,
would
because-
have. One or maybe 2.
Or like 2.
Because he said
I
it's
think it's-
exactly half. He said as soon as you win, you will have a
You get a
territory-
quarter of the
one-
board.
A quarter of the board, which means they must have had nearly.
No, that
But
wouldn't.
I would not want a quarter of the board. I would not want it.
Not that early.
that early.
No.
No, that's why I like this season. There's already. I mean, I think for most seasons there was always like different whales.
Little
There's
islands
only
and
one
stuff.
whale,
There's
and
a
it's
clear
quarter of the
whale.
board, and it's
Yeah.
episode 4. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's going to
Yeah.
change a lot
Do-
in the next.
Tony,
the
do
only
you
way
think-
to win 20 now is to go for that. Like before, you could win 20 by having these little silos develop. Now, if you want the cash, you got to go for
gotta
the
go
whale.
for it.
You gotta
every
go
time.
for it.
Tony, do you think Aaron wins this?
Aaron wins the whole thing.
No,
Yeah. No, I don't
No.
think so. I think
I
he's
don't.
got
I
a
don't think you
10% chance.
can. I don't think you can when you're
There's
that
no
big a
way.
target. If he does, that's crazy. He's the best floor player ever.
Yeah,
I don't think
hands
anyone
down.
would ever
Hands
top it.
down.
But
Yeah, if he wins it, he's a legend. Angie, we
I
gotta
don't
get him on the
even
show.
know if he'd be able to make it into the end of the next episode. I'm not even kidding.
if he wants
It-
to win, he has to run the board.
With
I
that
don't
big
think he can
territory, no.
survive being challenged in Harry Potter by a real Harry Potter fan, unless he is somehow a super closet Harry Potter fan. But then that's one duel. He's
Yeah,
gonna have
I don't-
everybody else coming at him the whole time and inheriting new categories every time he's defending.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can do it for the long haul. I guess we're gonna wait
Nah.
and see.
And if people want to at least win 20K, they have to go for
They
him.
have to. So he's gonna be on
They
the
have-
defense if he goes
Yeah.
back immediately. I'm sure.
Yeah.
I guess we'll
So-
see. I mean,
I'm excited for the next. I'm excited for next
too.
Wednesday.
I mean,
Yeah,
if
it's
he
Like
does
the
win,
floor
that's-
has done.
yeah.
The
It's a
floor
heck
has
of a
done
ride.
such a great reset of
Yeah.
making it. I know I was harsh on season 3, but season 4 has been amazing, and the floor is like I listen, and we're fixing it. We're working on things that 1 through 3 didn't fix. That didn't.
Yeah,
make.
and
I like it.
honestly, this steal a category thing is my favorite thing, and it is so much more than
I love it.
oh, I
It's-
really
it's
don't like
awesome.
my category. I think I want a different one. Oh no. It has, as we've seen at the end of this episode, so many
Much more power.
possibilities for
Angie,
gameplay. Yeah.
Angie, my memory fails me. We talked about this like last season, right?
Mm-hmm.
We did pitch that's still a category.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
They
we
listened.
did pitch that.
Next step, dropping people.
Did you
into-
wait?
into lava.
Harley, did you listen to our show prior to this, or were you
Not
just?
gonna lie, I fully did not, but
Okay.
but I will now. I will now.
Thank you, Harley. I appreciate that.
We're glad
At
that you were
least she's
on
not
our
lying.
first kind of reboot with Tony at the helm with us, being our first guest in this format. And you're a breath of fresh air, and it was really fun.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
You betcha.
Harley,
Everybody,
you're always welcome to come back on.
absolutely, 100%.
so much.
And thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next week to recap episode 5 of season 4 of The Floor. Everybody, take care.